Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday to you. The middle of the week. We have only 2 more days to survive this work week. We're gonna do it. The Ukrainians formed a new unit. This is the Ukrainian National Guard's 12th Azov Brigade, which is now formed into a corps. Yeah. Azov Core. The new name will be the first National Guard Azov Core, which will have 5 brigades in it, the 1st, 12th, 14th, 15th and 20th Brigade. Now the leader of the Azov Brigade before was the infamous, famous, the myth, the legend, Denis Prokopenko. Now we all know it on this part of the world because this guy has Finnish origins, Finnish roots from Karelia. His grandfather fought against the Soviet Union in the Winter War and in the Continuation War. You can see him on the photo right here. What's this on his arm, on his right arm? It's a face. Who is this guy? Well, my friends, let me introduce you to Simo Hayha. You have all heard about him. I'm sure if you haven't, you're in for a treat. That's the guy right here. During the Winter War, he was in battle for 3 months and some days, about 98 days. In that time, he confirmed sniper killed 505 Russian soldiers. Now I'm gonna say Russian, not the Soviet, because I want to. That is the world record for the most killed. Like, he has the highest body count of any sharpshooter. You couldn't even call him a sniper because he was using mostly his iron sight, not an optic sight. That's average sniper kills per day, 5.15. That's massive. And then we have this Denis Prokopenko, who is the leader of the Azov Brigade, and he has Simo Hayha tattooed on his right arm. Right now leading the fight against the Russians, much like his grandfather did during the Winter War and Continuation War. I'm so glad to see this. So his grandfather started it and he's gonna finish it. Pun intended. Alright my friends, let's get into the battles. We have plenty of hits in Russia and in Ukraine. We have assault videos to analyze and we begin with the destruction of 2 Russian electronic warfare units, jamming units. Borisoglebsk 2 is the name of the unit, electronic warfare system, and 2 of them were destroyed by Ukrainian drones. I'm guessing it's a vampire drone, octocopter, very big one, and you can see the unit right here. They're following it and doing some beautiful job with it. On the video, 2 of them confirmed. The main function of the Borisoglebsk 2 is to detect and suppress various communication channels and other systems that use radio signals. This system was produced and developed in the 2010s, so it's a very recent development in the Russian army. Usually even electronic warfare jammers, they're from the 90s or 80s. This one is almost as new as it gets, and they are very expensive. The initial testing was in 2009 to 2010. The first 8 systems were delivered to the Russian army in 2013, so 1 year before the war began in Donbass in 2014. So yeah, this system, very expensive to make, very useful for the Russians, and I mean, Russians are unfortunately quite good with jamming, so this is what it looks like. Hey, as an infantryman, I'm gonna say it, anything that has this kind of antennas on top of it, this many, this big, you know you gotta destroy it as fast as possible. And Ukrainians did, 2 of them. Now, my friends, we're gonna watch a video. This comes from the Russians, actually. This is a Belgorod oblast in Russia. This is a supply road. The Russians call it the road of death. All of these vehicles you see on the side of this road, you know, this is a Bukanka vehicle. We have, I'm not sure what this is, another Bukanka. We have some kind of a Jeep, a Volga perhaps, and another Jeep. Well, they're all destroyed. This is a logistics supply route and Ukrainians are pounding it day and night. And supposedly, by the time this video was filmed and uploaded, at that time of a few days, the number of vehicles destroyed has doubled on this road. This information comes from the Russians. So, we got this video, and it's geolocated now. We know exactly where it is because of a certain tree and a certain smoke column and explosion. This was geolocated to be in Belgorod. Every last one of these vehicles on the road was actually geolocated like that. You can see it. Links are in the description. You can go and have fun and look exactly where these WASICs and SUVs and everything is. The point is, in the matter of week, there's tens of these on this one road only. Russians are trying to balance this out by installing nets on these roads. I'm talking net to walls, nets on the sides, nets on the tops, do the whole duration sometimes of tens of kilometers of nets, but it takes time and it's quite expensive to do that on lengthened roads. Ukrainians are doing the same. So here we can see the outcome when you don't have these nets and you don't have enough jammers. You know, 2 of them were destroyed. Your supply vehicles would just get pounded. Now, my friends, we jump to South Ukraine. We jump to Velyka Novosilka, which was one of the battlegrounds, one of the main offensive areas of Ukrainian 2023 counteroffensive, which failed. Well, now it's Russians again. 2 days ago, they started a massive offensive assault here. Newsflash, it was stopped. It started at the morning and the battle lasted for the whole day. 20 armored vehicles, 41 motorcycles. I mean, you can imagine if you see like a pretty big motorcycle gang, how many do they have? 20. This is 40 motorcycles at once. It's a massive motorcycle Russian army gang. They try to break through near Velyka Novosilka, but Ukrainian 31st Mechanized Brigade with the 3rd Mechanized Battalion of the Presidential Brigade, they stopped them. They destroyed 14 infantry fighting vehicles and 2 tanks. But I want to watch glimpses of this video. Look, this is what a Russian assault. It's one of the biggest one-day assaults we have seen in the last few months. This is what it looks like. Just motorcycles, next, like one by one in a column, driving. Full throttle. Then Ukrainians noticed them, well, they usually noticed them before because the recon drones are up everywhere. FPVs are deployed and one by one we get connections. FPVs befriending Russian motorcycles and the drivers. You know the outcome of that already. Let's get to the armored vehicles. Now, motorcycles went ahead. Now armored vehicles are following in an exact same column, similar column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in this video alone. One by one, I would say the distance is 15 to 20 meters between each of them. It's at least better than what we saw at the beginning months of war when every Russian tank was right behind every other Russian tank. You could sometimes destroy 2 tanks with 1 hit. That's not the case here anymore. Each of these tanks infantry fighting vehicles will have to be taken down with one or many kamikaze drones. Notice the first tank, which now is always a barn tank or a tortoise tank, whatever you call it, a Frankenstein tank. I'm guessing many of these are infantry fighting vehicles, but the first one is designed to soak up many Ukrainian FPV drones who always initially, in the end, destroy it, but it takes many of them. In this video, we can see plenty of work being done by drones, but also anti-tank mines, and they take out about half of these vehicles. You get the idea. Anyway, drones, 41 motorcycles, most of them destroyed, 14 infantry fighting vehicles destroyed. This was a massive attack and it was repelled. Now, my friends, I gotta balance the picture. I don't think I've ever shown you this, but we're gonna watch videos of Russian drones intercepting Ukrainian drones. I've watched videos of the opposite, of Ukrainian drones doing that. Look at this photo, my friends. Now, yeah, Russians also have interceptor FPVs. What is an interceptor FPV? It is a drone, like an FPV drone, but designed to hit other drones in the air. It looks like that. Ukrainian version of it looks pretty much the same, and I think Ukrainians had it first, but Russians are always close by with these innovations. And look at it. This is how it looks like. These guys are spotting a Ukrainian Baba Yaga or vampire drone, the octocopter, the big one, however you call it. Now, they have the interceptor ready. It's like on a stick chassis, you just shoot it and it flies up. Look how they're deploying it. They aim it, Baba Yaga there, and boom, they release it and it follows the Baba Yaga and shoots it down. This is the Russians innovating very close by to the Ukrainians. Now let's look at some other instances. We have Ukrainian and Russian fixed-wing recon drones all across the battlefield. It always happens every day. This instance, this is a Ukrainian drone, and followed by a Russian interceptor, and it connects into it. Many times we have seen it done the opposite way. Here on this photo you can see a static version of the interceptor launcher. It can detect with heat signals and with sound. This camera possibly detects heat. Perhaps even it has a night vision. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It picks up a signal of Baba Yaga or any other Ukrainian maybe fixed-wing recon drone. It sends out these interceptors. So yeah, Russians have the same technology and they have an ability to take down Ukrainian fixed-wing UAVs, as we can see on these videos. Links in the description below. I have tons of videos about it. So not to paint you a one-sided photo or a picture how only Ukrainians have certain technologies. Most technologies in this war are used on both sides. There are some exceptions. Yesterday there was a massive attack on Russian Kursk city and Kursk oblast. Now Sunday was that devastating Iskander attack on Ukrainian Sumy city center, which had a lot of casualties in the civilian population. Civilians perished mostly. There was no military there almost. And this was a Ukrainian revenge attack on the Russians because now Russians claim that Ukrainians shot out over 150 drones, out of which they shot down 100. Take it with a grain of salt. But the point is, Russians filmed all across Kursk Oblast tens, if not hundreds of videos of hits, explosions, burning apartment buildings, and something more specific. Check it out. This here is the Russian military unit 35535, which is the base of Russia's 448th Missile Brigade, which was the brigade that launched the Iskander missile on Sumy in Sunday. So this was a revenge attack, and you know what their base is doing now? You guessed it. It's burning. It's burning like hell. It's exploding. Detonations everywhere, many hours of explosions. We can only guess that this was a very successful attack against that base, and their missiles or ammunition was now destroyed. In the Kursk city there were also targets. The main target, I would say, would be the Shipments plant that manufactures drones, computers and electronic items. You can see it right here on the map, and we have videos of course of this burning also. So a massive drone attack against Kursk city, Kursk Oblast, and the 448th Missile Brigade base. Now we jump to Moscow and to the business center of Moscow, which has high-rise buildings filled with offices. And in one of these offices we saw a video. Rehi Novosti published this, saw a video like that, and it was immediately deleted, but we can see it now because this video tells a massive story to us. In this video you could see that Russian soldiers are remote controlling drones from the front line from Moscow business center, high-rise buildings, in a civilian area, in a business area, controlling these drones. These videos was immediately deleted because it pretty much shows a war crime. You cannot do this. I mean, Ukrainians, if they geolocate it, which they will attack this very specific place, which, you know, has civilians around it. Alright, my friends, you survived this long, you're gonna survive a little bit more, but not without ear bleeding, because I'm going to mention 5 Buy Me a Coffee monthly members with my Estonian pronunciation. Neil Kook. Kook means cake in Estonia. Thank you, Mr. Cake. Justin Carles Sleeman. Mikael Palazzola. Molle. Tobias Wagner. Well, thank you, all of you 5 people. Thank you. If you like my channel, you can join up, Buy Me a Coffee monthly membership, and I'll be sending you one of these Rehi patches. Alright, let's go on, my friends. We'll jump to North Korea, and I just want to say everything you're gonna see on the screen. The link is in the description below, and there's massive amounts of information about it, but I'll make you a summary. North Korea has transferred up to 5.8 million artillery rounds to Russia. From August 23 to March 25, 4 Russian ships made at least 64 trips to the North Korean port of Rehi. Up 15,000 containers of ammunition were delivered. These included 122 and 152 millimeter artillery shells and MLRS missiles. All of these ships on both ports have been satellite photographed. Everything is right here, and I want to introduce you to this research paper called Estimating North Korean Munitions Deliveries to Russia. Link is in the description below. It is a paper of 37 pages, massively long and detailed paper with photos, geolocations, sources. Go crazy, my friends. This video would be 5 hours long if I would open this up to you, but yeah, you already heard the main points. 15,000 containers. So this is not a Russo-Ukrainian war. This is North Korean, Chinese, Iranian, Russian. They're one block versus Ukraine. North Korea is in this war as much as Russia. I mean, if you deliver 15,000 containers of something to Russia, you are in this war. Now, my friends, we jump to Poland, and we jump all over the globe with this video, but you're gonna love this information. So do I. Poland is going to open a joint venture plant with South Korea to produce missiles, CGR-080 missiles for the South Korean HIMARS, let's call it. I mean, it is the K239 Chunmoo, or let's just name it South Korean HIMARS, because this is what it is. It's a missile launcher, rocket launcher complex, which have 4 different kind of missiles, and the longest one is actually 290 kilometer range. Works in a similar way as the HIMARS, but it's South Korean, so it's just a competitor to it. Now, these missiles will be produced in Poland in 3 years, and Poland fields the biggest K239 Chunmoo numbers except South Korea, so the second largest in the world. This is a massively great news, because let's take Estonia for example. We bought HIMARS. We have our HIMARS and we have ammunition. We want to buy more, but we can't buy more right now because the queues for HIMARS rockets are so massive that if you want to buy more, get in line. It's gonna take 5 years. I mean, these numbers, I cannot publish them, but we don't have enough missiles for every Russian tank or every Russian troop gathering that is going to happen in the next how many years. I mean, the point is, Estonian Defense Forces doctrine right now is to destroy everything in the 200 kilometer from Estonia to St. Peter, like everything that is in there. We don't have enough HIMARS missiles for that. So for Poland to start producing their own K239 Chunmoo rockets with South Korea in Poland, which we potentially can buy in the future if we buy the launchers, is massively great news for the Baltics, for Poland, and insanely bad news for Putin. Alright, my friends, this video is a bit shorter. I'm glad, because you get to enjoy the middle of your week. I know I will. I'm gonna go play basketball for the first time outside this year, because it's warm now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting your time with me. I will be back for you on Friday, 3 times a week, plus an extra video for only members each Saturday. So until then, Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.